Well, that is 50 Cent. Curtis Jackson.
Curtis Jackson.
And his first pitch was not great. Just a bit outside. What can you say? You think he opened up a little early?
Yeah.
Look at that front shoulder.
It's good. He never had a choice between playing for the Mets or being a rapper. So.
Gary Cohen and Ron Darling, the great announcers on SNY.
And that causes some hard feelings.
Some hard feelings. Anthony Recker was the guy behind the. How did you and I work together for a few years now?
Yeah.
I never put it together.
Never knew that,
you
yeah.
caught that legendary moment.
Well, I didn't catch it, but yeah. So first of all, he was out in the bullpen. He warmed up before that.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I heard everything went fine out there. Everything went fine. I mean, it was he could throw the ball to the catcher. And Mark, our cameraman, he's legendary, by the way, in New York, because he does it for the Yankees too. He must have been zoomed in on his face, because obviously if he saw that ball, it almost hit him. But to me, that ball goes by me. Well, I shouldn't say by me, by Mark and the people behind me. And the first thing that went through my mind was, you remember the show Punk'd?
Yeah.
Am I on punked right now? Like, am I being punked somehow? Like in the stadium, that someone just threw a ball that wide of me? I kind of looked, and if you'll watch it, I looked to the ball, and then I looked back at him. Oh, he cut away. I looked back at him, and I kind of gave him like a head nod. I didn't know what to do. I was so confused as to what possibly just happened. And there we just shared a laugh.
Let me ask you this. John Neese is starting that game, right? So he's watching this.
Yeah, it's one of the dumbest things we used to do at Citi Field was have the first pitch come out and do it as the starting pitcher is on the field waiting to warm up for the game.
Yeah.
Because who does that? We always talk about starting pitchers and their routines and letting them, kind of letting them alone. They do their own thing. We used to do that at Citi Field, have a guest come out and throw first pitch.
So he's stopping his process, right? He's getting out of his game face to watch these shenanigans.
To watch that. Go throw to the first hitter now.
In defense of Fitty.
Yeah.
He came back later and executed a first pitch quite well.
Did he? I didn't know that.
I believe he did.
Okay.
I believe he did,
right.
because I don't.
Why don't we show that ever?
He laughed about that initially, but I think it bugged him. Like it
did. So in 2015, I had spoken with Andy Cohen previously. We got to know each other a little bit. He actually sought out my wife in 2013 when the Cardinals were in town. He's a big Cardinals fan. And so I ended up going to a couple of his shows. So he does the Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, I'm a fan.
Okay. So he asked me to be the bartender for one of the shows.
Really?
So I was a bartender in 2015. I had no idea, and he didn't know either. And 50 Cent was one of the guests that day. So sure enough, we met a year later.
Come on.
And it came up on the show, and he didn't really want to talk about it very much.
Really?
Yeah, he wasn't into it.
Did Bravo put it together that you and Fitty were there? It just happened that way?
I guess they didn't know that I was the catcher for that. And so when I was coming and I found out 50 was going to be there, I said to Andy, I was like, did you do this on purpose? He was like, honestly, no, I had no idea.
Wow, that worked
So
out
then they
pretty
ended up playing it, and they tried to ask him, but he didn't.
A lot of fun. We're going to have a little bit more fun with that later on.